Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this video. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button. The Us versus Herd community is growing quickly. We have a free options trading group. There's a link below in the description. And what I want to talk today is about the worst things I find about trading options on Robinhood. Robinhood is not my main broker. I do trade some options on it from time to time. I use it in a lot of example videos. My main brokers are Thinkorswim and Tastyworks, or TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, and Tastyworks for those that want to know. I do trade on Robinhood every now and then, but mostly it's my kind of like my play account where I put positions on. I just kind of grow it. And we're down a little bit today, mostly I think due to me over trading a little bit on some of these option positions here. We're still up on the week on this account, and for the year we're up roughly we're up 35%, a little bit above. So the account's growing, things are going good. But I've been doing some trades and I'm kind of comparing it to some of the competitors. Like I said, I use Thinkorswim and Tastyworks, and just some very noticeable things that I want to go over to hopefully, if you're frustrated about it, or if you're just not sure, if you're brand new to options, you might find this stuff useful. First, I'm actually going to use Apple as an example, and I'm going to use the web platform here. Let's go to Apple. And it's pretty similar on the iOS or mobile versions. I'm going to use Apple as an example, but the first thing that I want to point out here is just the charting. I know I've said this before, but the charting here it's not the greatest, and the quotes aren't as fast as Thinkorswim or Tastyworks. And if you take a look, I'll actually bring over the chart here. For example, Apple. What I like about Thinkorswim is these are 15-minute candles. You can get a good picture here. You can actually change the intervals if you want, to whatever you want. You can kind of customize it and do whatever you like. And it really helps. It really helps figure out an uptrend or a downtrend here. And over here in Robinhood, really not the same. Not the same. Very, very difficult. If you're day trading off this chart, it's very difficult. Now, if you're not day trading, it's not really that important. You're more concentrating on the price. But for like a long-term holding, like let's say 1 year here, I'm actually going to close Thinkorswim. And like I said, like I was saying, if you're trading off the 1 year chart, it's really difficult compared to Thinkorswim or some of the other platforms out here. The charting is just terrible. But to get to options more specifically, some of the things are the way to select the legs, but also before we get into that, let's go to trade options here. The options chain itself is just they try to make it user friendly. And it's clean. It's okay. I would say it's not the best. You don't get a really good overview of what's going on here in terms of like data numbers or anything like that. You can just see your strike, your break-even price, and they really emphasize this break-even price. And I don't really think it's that important unless your exercise. Notice here is today is Friday, August 17th. The only expiration I have here is Friday, August 24th. You can't trade options on the day they expire. And if you look at Tastyworks option chain, like we have today, August 17th, if I wanted to, it's kind of late now, there's only 20 minutes left in the day, I can place an order for today expiration. And what I find is helpful in doing that is sometimes there's opportunities on today that you just want to day trade quick to get some cheap options. Like today, I flipped Tesla and made about a $7 profit on it in 9 minutes. And I wouldn't have been able to do that in Robinhood. I actually didn't do it on Robinhood because I didn't have this expiration date to trade. So, that's definitely a disadvantage, is the expirations. And if going back to the options chain here, let's pull up something that has some numbers here. This probability in the money, it's really helpful in terms of seeing like what the probability of it going in the money is. And mainly because it's just a nice visual, because you might not place a trade. Like a lot of people buy these 15-cent puts here and we'll lose some money, but in reality there's a 4% chance it's going in the money. Now this changes based on the moves and news and all that kind of thing, but you know, it's nice to have a nice visual glance at, is it in the money, is it not in the money? And they don't have that here. I mean, if you click on this, you get the implied volatility, you get the Greeks, but you can't really customize it to the way that you want to. And actually it's not loading right now, but over here in the right hand corner is a plus or minus, and it's usually the plus or minus expected move. Let's see if we can get something here to load. I think I'm having some internet issues today, but yeah, this is not loading. But usually there's a plus or minus there saying plus or minus a dollar amount, saying it's the expected move for the week. Now obviously it will go beyond that or not touch it at all, but that's what the option pricing is coming in for, and they actually calculate it there, and they don't actually do that for you on this. The other thing is I wanted to show you is on the bid and the ask. Let's just say, let's get an order here. There's no bid in the ask. Like on here, you can have a nice glance. Let's go back to Apple here. So we're looking at the same thing. We'll go to August 24th expiration. The bid and the ask, it's very important because you can see how wide the spread is, because you can see, you know, and also the volume. They do show volume on here, but they don't really show the bid and the ask, so it's difficult to see how wide the spread is. And it's good to know if you're getting a good deal. You know, Apple has very liquid options, so you see here there's only a couple cent wide markets, so very good markets. To get the bid and the ask here, which you may not know, let's go with these. Let's just go with these 225 calls here. To get that, you have to click on the option that you want, and then continue to place the order, and then it'll say the limit price is 32.34, and they'll give you, you know, something in between. These are penny wide markets, so it's pretty tight, so you're going to get the bid and the ask. But just so you know, the lowest price here is the bid, and the highest price here is the ask. And depending on how wide that is, you may not get a fill for that amount. See, now it just changed down to 32. Put me between 32 and 34. In the middle of that's 33, but now it just went down to 33, depending on how the stock moves. So Robinhood's definitely not the fastest platform for executing orders on, no matter if you're on the web or you're on mobile. I just also want to show you canceling an order and replacing it. So let's say I put this order in for 30, let's say 32, and I didn't get it filled. Canceling the order just takes a while, because you can't just cancel it and replace the order here. Like most brokerage accounts, what you can do, or most trading platforms, what you can do is you can just like right click, and I actually will show you here. Let's place this order. This is the 225 call on Apple for next week. I'm actually just going to go way below market so I don't get filled, just to show you what I mean by this. And what you can do here is I'll just put it in for 20 cents. It's not going to get filled, but I'll send the order, not filled. What I can do here is just right click on it, hit replace order, and adjust the pricing right here. I'm actually going to cancel this order. Really simple. Over here, let's say I put in the same order. I'll do one contract. I'll put in for 20 cents as well so I don't get filled. And I'll go to review order, and I'll hit submit. It's taking a while, as you can see, and you see how fast it was on Tastyworks. And actually, I got MFA set up, but it didn't prompt me. So I placed the order. Now it's nowhere to be found. Where do I go to? It didn't get filled. It didn't say get filled. I didn't get any notifications on my phone. So then you have to go to account. You got to go to history, and you got to go to click on this, and then cancel order. And then you got to place a new order. So it's kind of frustrating. They don't really have that built in where you can just get to it, you know, right away. You got to click through a couple screens, and it's the same thing on mobile. Yes, you can do it. You can do a little bit faster on mobile, but pretty much the same thing. Also, I noticed that the quotes are not as fast. And you know, if Apple or the stock that you're trading is moving quickly, you're not going to get filled on not going to get a fill on Robinhood as quick as you are on some of the other platforms. You're going to have to place your order in for above market to get filled. Also, let's go back to here. Selecting spreads, it's a lot easier on the web. On the mobile, you actually have to click select and then go into your legs. In here, it's actually a little bit nicer on the web version, but it's still difficult. You know, let's say I want to put on a credit spread. I have to hit buy here. I'll buy one, and then I'll go to sell, and I'll sell the other one here. Oops, I didn't select both of them. Let's buy this 220. Let's buy this 220 and sell the 217. It does put all up as credit spreads here. So that's kind of nice. It calls you out so you know that you did it right. What I like about other platforms such as Apple, so if I want to put that same position on, all I have to do is click on these and I'm in. And it will tell me right here. Or I can just go on and put a vertical call on and I can just adjust it real quick. Here you can't really do this. They wanted to make it easier for you, but for doing spreads, and especially if you don't know how to do a spread, you have to do everything manually here. And it's, you know, if you're going to put on an iron condor, it gets even more complicated. So let's say if I wanted to put on an iron condor for next week, I wanted to buy, let's say this 230 and sell the 227. Then I gotta go to the put side. We only got the buy, so it's just a lot of legwork and a lot. So you have to go to the put side. You know, unlike the other platforms, you can just jump over and click like this, and you have an iron condor on right here. And let's say I wanted to put this iron condor on. Let's go to buy this one. I'm just picking random strikes right now just to show you. And then it, you know, acknowledges that I have an iron condor, but it was a lot of work to kind of put all that together. You know, and then the other thing is, unlike other platforms, it won't tell you what my max profit is and max loss. It'll tell me my total credits can be 57 cents, so that's gonna be my max profit. But if I hit continue, it doesn't tell me my maximum loss for this order, which is, I think, for newer traders is very important because you want to know how much your maximum loss is. And like Tastyworks, this order right here, it's not the same exact order, but as you can see, I'm getting my max profit here is $116. My max loss is $135. So it really helps to determine, hey, is this position too risky for me? Instead of you doing the math in your head of what your loss is going to be. I mean, you can easily do the math, but if you're a newer trader, it's going to be difficult to understand how this math works out. And it's really nice here. Also tells you, you know, what your maximum profit is, what your maximum loss is. It's not loading right now, but it also has your P50, which is your probability to profit for 50%. So what's the probability of profit for getting 50% profit? So, and then your probability of profit here is 46%. What's the percentage here that you're going to actually make $1 on it? Make any money, and for this spread's 46%. It's low because of the way I have it on. If I widen this up, it'll get better here. So as you see, as I widen it up, it's saying my probability of profit is 79%. So I got a 79% chance of being profitable. I got an 82% chance of getting 50% on this. However, as you can see, because I widened it, my max profit's $18 and my max loss is now $231. So, you know, that's the risk. And also we'll show you, if you look on this green bar here, the green will show you where you'll make money, and the red will show you where you'll start losing money. And actually it's starting to load now, like I said earlier. Actually, it's not. It just shows your IV rank for each week, which is important too. But, you know, for Robinhood, they don't have that. So, you know, just some small things here that really make a difference. And also, I think these will definitely determine if you're a profitable trader or not. You know, I know there's small things, but they add up, and if they impact your decision making when making trades, like, are you going to put on an iron condor and only make $19, but your maximum loss is $200? I mean, probably not. I mean, and if you have an iron condor on, you're only going to make $10 on it. You're not going to let it go to zero because it's, unless you take it to expiration, but it's risk. Also, the support. Robinhood support is terrible. All you can do is go to their website and, you know, submit a ticket. I know they have free commissions, and this is part of it. I think this is the biggest downfall of Robinhood. So their support isn't as good. You'll get an email response. You won't get a call. Like for TD Ameritrade and Tastyworks, I can call. I can do a chat on my computer, and people answer right away. So if you're in a position, so if you've been trading options for a long time or not, and maybe you get some assigned stock, or maybe you get some, whatever cases, you have an issue. Maybe you can't cancel an order. Maybe you can't place an order. You're not sure what's going on. You can't actually call and talk to somebody to get a heads up. They'll send you a message, and sometimes it's generic. I mean, I've had issues with the platform before, and it's just a generic message saying, hey, we had an issue, and we'll clear it up soon. Have a nice day. There's no time when. And the other thing is the positions are, if you have a position on, they'll sell it one hour before close. So let's say I had this call on for expiration. Actually, I do have a position on. If I can get there. All right, it's not loading right now, but it's just slow today. But here we go. So these positions. No, looks like my internet just went out. Just try to get some internet here. But what I was saying is what they'll actually do is, sorry, it's distracting. I got multiple computers here and no internet, and they're all kind of flickering on and off. What I was saying is some of these are expiring today, and let's say you were closer in the money, they'll actually sell it to you 1 hour. They'll actually, if it's worth money and they think it's going to go in the money and they can sell it, they'll actually sell it for you 1 hour before close instead of you pushing the button. And the reason why they do that is because they're trying to minimize risk on their end, because the more they put in your hands in terms of, beginner traders not sure. They think that beginner traders don't know how to trade options. You're going to get assigned stock. You're going to get exercise stock, not understand why. Which, I mean, that is usually the case, that people don't understand. Hey, if my option expires in the money, I'm gonna have to buy the stock, and a lot of people don't know that. So what they do is they actually will they'll actually sell your position 1 hour before close if you don't have that kind of capital in your account. And most people don't. Let's say I have this $165, or let's just say this one's not expiring today, but let's say this $190 call is not expiring today, but let's say it was and it was worth 94 cents. They're gonna sell it for me before close, whether I want them to or not. Because I don't have 19, if I have a $190 call, it means I got to pay $19,000 worth. I have to buy $19,000 worth of stock when the market closed today. So, just those things, it definitely impacts you, not being as fast. I mean, it's great to learn on, but if you're trying to be a serious trader, you're trying to be profitable, it's good to place trades on it like I do. Just every now and then I'll place some trades. I don't trade too serious on it. Like I said, my main brokers are Tastyworks and Thinkorswim. It's nice to have free commissions, but, it definitely comes at a cost. So trade carefully. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. We'd definitely love to hear from you. We'd love to definitely answer your questions, see if we can help out. Join the Us versus Herd community if you haven't already. And if this video was of value to you, please hit that like button.